Hi, I'm Kevin Roy. Welcome to this video, Ride the Wave, Not the Puddle. Today we'll be talking about the most underrated but often failed test, the GMAW flat position. This S-class qualification is your initial position. That means you need to pass this one first before you move ahead. This position is often considered as easy, so it gets way less attention. You don't practice this one as much because you think you're going to be okay. But there are a lot of things that can trip you up on this test. There will be 2 starts and stops on this coupon. So we'll work our way from the edge on the square side and stop at this point here. And then we'll work our way from the bevel side and work our way to this point here and stop. The reason we called this video Ride the Wave and Not the Puddle is because if you ride your puddle, you will not get penetration. So GMAW is known to have cold starts. So you want to use this backer bar as much as possible. You'll work your way in right from the edge to that square side. Once you get to that square side, you want to see that edge melt away. Once you see that melt away, you're going to run a small, hot pass, moving quickly, staying ahead of your puddle. You want to run that small, hot pass because if you run it too big, you're going to encroach onto your bevel side. If you run your first pass too big, you'll be way too close to your bevel side. And with GMAW, you want to give yourself some room for that arc to penetrate. Again, on your second root pass, start way back here. Use up all that material. That helps heat up the backer bar and your coupon. When you get to that edge, watch it melt away and then move quickly through to your stop point. Now I'll throw on my PPE and I'll show you these starts and stops. Now, even though this is GMAW or MIG, you want to wire wheel your passes. That'll take out any dirt and grime or silica that's in your joint. Anything is helpful. As you can see, we've used all of our backer bar. We've gotten to that edge and you can see that edge has melted away. As soon as I saw that, I started moving. I started that edge, watched it melt away, and then I started moving. And if you look right here where I stopped my weld, you can see right here that beveled edge is melted away. That's what you want to look for while you're welding. You want to stay ahead of your puddle. You heard me mention that GMAW is prone to cold starts. This wire is going to hit the puddle and establish the arc. At that point, you may have some cold lap. And that's going to be important when we restart these welds. Do not start here and work your way back. That'll leave a spot right here that is likely to open up when it bends. What you want to do is start at the back of your weld where your puddle started to solidify here. Starting here on top of your weld will give your arc some time to settle and it'll preheat your weld as you tie in. By the time you get to this point here, you'll be able to see it tying in, small pause, keep going. Once we're done this side here, we'll use the same trick over here on our bevel side. Start back here, run in, small pause, and then move. So now my 2 initial passes are done. I'll be filling up the coupon. So the point you want to remember, don't start where you stopped. Start back from where you stopped. As you can see here, there's where my crater was. So I started back moved in, slight pause, and then moved out. I did the same thing here on my bevel side, started back, moved into my crater, and started moving, ensuring that I was tying into my bevel side and my first weld. So another important point is use your entire backer bar. Not only does it heat up your coupon, but most people have a tendency to leave the front and back of their welds low. So by building these areas up, you'll have a nice uniform weld. And now we'll fill out the coupon. Now we've got our coupon filled up. While you're doing that, it's important to maintain your edges. You don't want that cap to get too wide. Another thing to keep in mind is undercut and underfill. If on your last pass you're a little low or you're undercut, you do have the opportunity to put another pass on, but you definitely don't want to let this thing get too high. I hope these tips and tricks of how to pass your GMAW flat position have been helpful, so go out there and do it.